group. I mean, what has allowed Kenny to work his way into the starting lineup and be a factor in this offense?
I would just say consistency. Since he's gotten here, he's been consistent on and off the field. No issues off the field. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, yeah, off the and on the field. Anytime the ball comes his way, more times than not, he's going to come down with it, and something good happens. So he just got to keep his head down, keep working, and I believe he has a very, very bright future.
That was probably Bub's best game of the year against Louisville. What was he doing that impressed you and allowed him to have that kind of night?
I would just say, again, consistency, just doing his job. It started with a great week of practice. I thought his preparation was really good, and it carried over to the game. And him and Christian connected on that deep ball. It was beautiful to see. Like, we know that Bub can fly, and Christian made a great play, and it was just awesome that for Bub to have success. I was very happy for him.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what kind of reaction did you see from Bub? It's been tough sledding for him, but he kind of came up with some good plays against
Yep. What I would say about that receiver unit as a whole, we day in and day out, we just work. And for him to have a good game like he did versus Louisville, I feel like we were waiting for it for a while, and now that it's finally happened, now we could use that as momentum the rest of the way.
On the note of momentum, I mean, as the passing game coordinator, do you take away from Saturday as a positive building experience? Are you encouraged from what you've seen in game one with Christian?
Oh, man, absolutely. I thought he had a great week of practice, and that carried over to the game. First and foremost, the O-line, they played their asses off. And Christian went out there. He was very prepared. Coach Sig put together a great game plan. And honestly, the players executed. They went out there and did their jobs, and we showed the country like what type of team we could be offensively.
On the note of the offensive line, too, I mean, you guys had a lot of youth out there, redshirt freshmen, true freshmen. As everyone plays a role in recruiting, but you take pride in your recruiting. Is it nice to see so many guys having an impact on both sides of the ball that are redshirt freshmen, true freshmen?
Absolutely. First and foremost, hats off to Coach Narduzzi. This program, the way they built it, it's been recruited, and it's recruiting a certain style of player. Like, you got to be tough to play here, and I want to give hats off to that old line. We had some young guys up front versus a really good Louisville front, and they played hard, they fought, and at the end of the day, that's all you want. You just want the guys to go out there and do their best, try to execute the game plan, and just give you everything they got. And I felt like they did that last week, and we got to do the same versus a good Wake Forest team coming up Saturday.
And is it encouraging knowing that, like, you know, a lot of these guys have 2-3 years of eligibility, where this is kind of the start of something long term here? It's not just this season.
No doubt. Experience is the best teacher. So the more reps these young players can get, the better off we'll be in the future. And sometimes you're going to take your lumps early, but it'll be better for them in the back end, for sure.
You guys have a lot of swagger, confidence. That's been this group, the Waffle House gang. When the passing game is struggling and they don't get a chance to show off as much of their skills, how did you see your players take on those tough weeks leading into this week?
I would just say we pride ourselves on just doing our job day in, day out, and no matter the circumstance. And that's what they've done. We try to be better as run blockers, because we have a tremendous backfield with Rodney, Sebo, DC, those guys. So I said, hey, we got to take pride in blocking, man. Running off the ball, and DBs have to feel us in the run game. And when we get opportunities in the pass game, we got to make the most of it. Like, that's what it comes down to. Whatever play is called, whether it's run or pass, we got to play our ass off, and the ball comes your way, make the play. Like, that's our job.
Is Bub the energy guy of the group, or is it a team effort there, or do you feel like there's one guy who, like, when everyone might be quiet because they're focusing on something, that he's the spark plug?
I would say with the departure of Jared Wayne, Bub has been the more vocal leader, and Kanate is more of a lead by example, but he's even been more vocal this year as well. But those two have done a great job leading our group, because we have a mixture, older guys, younger guys, and they're showing those guys the way, and it's been very beneficial for our group overall, for sure.
What are your thoughts on Kanate's season?
Kanate, very steady. Every time he comes here, he has a morning routine. He's catching tennis balls in the morning. He's getting his body prepared for practice. Like, he's treating himself like a pro now, which I love. And for me, honestly, I feel like the more opportunities he gets, the more he'll be able to show what he can do. And he's been very patient, and I was just very happy for him to get that touchdown on that fourth down call at the end of that Louisville game, because he's been working his behind off for moments like that.
Christian made some really nice splash plays in that game,
Mhm.
but the percentage was under 500.
Mhm.
What do you think led to that?
Yep, I would just say reps with one another. With him now being his second week, third week if you count the bye, a full practice with the guys as far as being the guy.
Mhm.
And I think the more we can throw together, the rhythm, the timing that Coach Sig talks about all the time, I think that'll show on game day and that'll lead to a more efficient pass game for sure.
Do you think that would create a better chemistry with Kenny, being that they were both kind of
Mhm.
on the twos in camp and everything? Do you think that they kind of have a little bit of an advantage there where he already has that chemistry with him?
Truthfully, man, I'm gonna be real. CV, he's always in the receiver room. That's one place. If he's not in Coach Sig's office, he's in the receiver room and he's watching tape. He's with the receivers. They're looking over stuff, and you can feel that relationship, that bond, pour over to the field. And it was great to see that on Saturday. And I feel like it's just going to continue to grow moving forward.
As a former receiver, what does that mean to have the quarterback come into your room and just chop it up? With
Oh man, it's awesome. It's awesome because at the end of the day, we all have to see the pass game through the lens of the quarterback. So we want to make sure we're on the same page with that guy for sure. And I think it's going to be very beneficial moving forward.
Is that a normal thing for a quarterback to do?
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
You've seen it before?
I mean, I played with Tom, and you had to be on the same page with Tom. And if you weren't, your ass wasn't going to be playing. You know, so you have to be on the same page. And Coach Sig talks about it all the time. Football is the ultimate team game. So we all got to just execute our jobs, and I feel like we'll be all right.
So you're saying Bayer and Brady, very similar?
I don't want to put that type of pressure on him. But as a starter, man, he came in, gave us a boost, played his ass off, and I'm very happy for him because he puts a lot of work into it, and to see him go out there and like you say, make some splash plays was good to see. But he knows that he can be even better. It was some throws he probably would want back. It was some catches that the receivers probably want back. And we got to fix those things this week in practice and try to be better versus Wake Forest.
As the pass game coordinator, what's your role in trying to get the concept, find concepts that work for your quarterback and your receivers, and then mixing that into when that is called in a game? Like what kind of meetings are with Frank do you have to work that in?
First, I learned so much from Coach Sig. It's been awesome to game plan with a person like that. As far as the offense, first you look at, okay, what do they do schematically defensively? And what can we exploit? What can we take advantage of? And then my job a lot of the time is, okay, who do we want where? You know what I mean? Okay, if we have a post, do we want Bub to run that? Do we want Kenny to run that? So it's like a puzzle, just piecing it together to make that final puzzle, if that makes sense. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Finding plays that's going to work versus the defense, and also putting the proper guys in position to be successful.
Is that a challenge when things aren't clicking and it's like, but this look is here? How do you balance that with, man, like this look is here, we have to get the quarterback to see it, so maybe we need to go to something else that we can create to be an opportunity, even though we've been creating these other ones that have worked? What's that challenge like?
I would just say it all comes down to execution. It all comes down to execution, because you're not always going to have the perfect call, but sometimes a player can bail you out by making a fantastic play. So as coaches, we try to pick the proper call, and we play the percentages based on down, distance, situation. But after that, the players got to make the play. You know, and you try to just, number one, build their confidence in individual drills, and then on game day, they got to go out there and execute it.
Yeah, we talked a lot this fall camp about this whole group of freshman receivers, and while we've seen Kenny, we haven't really got an update on the other three. How are they developing in their first collegiate season?
Yeah, so we brought in four in this class with Kenny, Izzy, Zion, and Lamar, and each guy, they're at different levels of their journey, I would say. And with us having a little top heavy with Kanante, Bub, and Dejan, not a whole lot of time there for those guys, but in due time, those four guys are going to be very, very special. So right now, they're just, some guys are helping the defense give a look. Some guys are with us helping the offense give a look. So they're just learning. And I feel like the sky's the limit for those guys. I'm very excited for them. And they just got to continue to just chop away day by day, and continue to get better. And in the future, I feel like you're going to be hearing from all 4 of those guys for sure.
What have you seen from Dejan this season?
Day very consistent. He brings a toughness to our room for sure that we kind of needed, and just an older guy that can teach the younger guys what it's about at the college level, because we have a lot of young receivers that are transitioning from high school, and that's tough. That's tough when you're dealing with your football, your academics, your social life. So those older guys could kind of shorten the learning curve for them and just help them as they go throughout their journey.
They have time for social life?
Oh man, it's tough. But with us being a morning practice team, afternoon and night classes, so if you don't have an evening class, I would hope they would get away from football a little bit just to relax, and then probably study your game plan, your iPad at the end of the night before bed. But you got to find a way of balancing that stuff.
Right.
That goes for coaches as well. I love spending time with my wife, my 3 girls, just to get away from it a little bit sometimes. That balance.
Makes sense.
All good? Thank you, Coach.
Cool.